Hello friends, welcome to GT Science tutorial. In this video, we are going to understand about the chemical bond and the reason for the formation of chemical bond. In nature, there are many molecules and compounds, and the molecules are made up of tiny atoms. Those atoms are held together by certain force. Now that force is called the bond. So in this video, we will understand about bond and the reason for the formation of bond. So let's start. We know that chemistry is the branch of science which concerns with the structure, properties and reactions of any substance. And we know that all the substances are made up of atoms, right? So, let me make a structure of atom. We have been reading the atomic structure, right? And in the atomic structure, we see like this. There is proton and neutron in the nucleus, and around which electrons are revolving in a fixed orbit, right? In a fixed orbit, they are also called orbital, right? This, and in the first orbital there can be 2 electrons, and in the second there can be 8 electrons in maximum. So this is an atom. This is an atom. Right now I have made carbon atom, but let's consider this is just an example of atom. Now what actually happens, this atom cannot exist independently. Atoms cannot exist independently. We don't find atom independently, okay? We have to break the element. Finally we get the atoms. Now atoms cannot exist independently, that we know. So obviously it will need more and more atom for the aggregation. So what will it do? It will see another carbon atom plus and neutron, and there will be 1 2 1 2 3 4. It will get more and more such atoms. It will try to pull more and more such atoms, and as a result of that, they will try to make some bond. They will try to pull each other or push each other, or there will be certain interactions over there, okay? They will try to pull each other with certain force. That force is the reason for the bonding, okay? They will come closer, they will come very close, and there will be a force of attraction between them that won't allow them to get apart from each other. Now similarly, they will need another molecule, another atom, another atom, another atom, another atom, another atom, and finally a bunch of atoms will be over here, and finally an element is formed, and those elements react in their favorable condition to form different compounds. So we can see over here, to form compound there has to be certain bonding. Bonding doesn't have to be between different elements. It can be within the atoms of the same element as well. An element is made up of billions of atoms, and those atoms are held together by some force. That force is called the chemical bond, we can say that, okay? So the force of attraction between any two atoms that holds them together is called the chemical bond, okay? So let me write the definition of it. Let me erase this portion. I hope you understood what we just made over here. Chemical bond is the force of attraction, chemical bond is the force of attraction that holds atoms of same or different elements, together. So the force of attraction which keeps the atoms of same or different elements is called the chemical bond. There are different types of chemical bond, okay? The first one is electrovalent bond. This is also called ionic bond. And this is formed by complete transference of electron. Another one is covalent bond, and the third one is coordinate coordinate covalent bond. Coordinate covalent bond. We will understand about each of them one by one in my upcoming videos. So now we understood what chemical bond is, right? This is the force of attraction between any two atom that may be in the same element or in different element, and they keep that force keep the atoms together. That force of attraction is called the chemical bond, and without chemical bond or without that force of attraction, no atoms could come together, and as a result of that, nothing in the universe would ever exist. Right now we exist, that means there is force of attraction, that is there is chemical bonding. Now there are different reasons why different atoms come together to form a bond. That is very important for your examination and for this chapter, whole chapter as well. Okay, so let's understand the reasons for chemical bonding. There are different reasons for the formation of chemical bond, and in this video we will see three very important reasons for your examination. The first one is net attractive force of attraction between the atoms. So this is the first reason why a bond is formed between different atoms. Now look at here. Suppose we have an atom like this, and there is positive charge. This region is positively charged, right? Because there is proton and there is electron, two electrons. Let's consider carbon in this case as well. Now there is another atom. This is the nucleus part, positively charged, and there is another carbon atom. Then what will happen? Look at here, when they come closer, then there will be certain interactions. I'm not saying there will be only attractive force, but there will be repulsion as well. How? Look at here. This positive charge, let us consider this is A and this is B. Carbon A, carbon B. Okay. Now, carbon A's positive charge, that is nucleus, will try to attract the negatively charged electrons. So it will try to attract all the electrons of this B, like opposite sex attraction, right? So opposite charge attraction is happening over here. Similarly, this also has a positive charge. This will say, why can't I attract your negative charge? Then this will also try to attract the negative charge of this carbon A. Then what will happen? A kind of attraction force exists over there. But electron, they will try to repel each other. Electron and electron will try to repel each other. They won't try to come together, right? Same sex repulsion, right? Similarly, positive charge, they will also try to repel each other. So the nucleus of one atom and the electron cloud of another atom will try to attract each other. They will try to go together. But the nucleus of one atom and nucleus of another atom will try to repel each other. Similarly, the electron cloud of one atom and the electron cloud of another atom will try to repel each other as well. Now there is attraction force, now there is repulsion force. Just imagine the case, right? There is attraction force and repulsion force as well. What actually happens? That's why we say net attractive force. If the attractive force over here is greater, then bond will form. Otherwise, the bond will not form. As we see over here, there are different atoms. That means bond is being formed, right? There is carbon, we are formed, everything around us is made up of atom. That means bond is formed. So we can say that net attractive force is greater than the repulsive force, right? So this is the first reason, net attractive force. So net attractive force between the atoms. Sorry. Force between the atom, I don't have to write this much. Okay, net attractive force between the atoms is the first reason for the formation of bond. Let me write it over here. Okay, when two atoms are brought together, the nucleus nucleus of one atom attracts the electron clouds of other and vice versa, because the same case will happen for other atom as well. But sorry, however the nucleus of one atom will repel the nucleus of other atom, and same case happens for electrons. Let me write it over here now. If the net attractive force of attraction is more than the repulsion, then bond forms, otherwise not. Otherwise the bond will not form. So this is the first reason for the formation of bond, that is the net force of attraction between the molecules. Let's see the second reason. The second reason is the octet rule. Octet resembles the Nepali word and Hindi word "8". 8 means 8. So if there is 8 electrons in the outermost orbital of any atom, then we call that stable atom, because that attains the electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas. Noble gas are very stable, right? So if there is 8 electron in its outermost orbital of any atom, then we call those atoms to be stable. Now what happens if we see sodium Na? Then how many electrons does it have? Its electronic configuration is 281. In the first orbital there is 2 electrons, in the second orbital there is 8 electrons, and finally in the third orbital there is only 1 electrons. So this is the electronic configuration of sodium. And if we see chlorine, its electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 7. That is in the first orbital 2 electrons, second orbital 8 electrons, in the third orbital 7 electrons. Now all the elements have some tendency, that means they can either gain some electrons or lose some electron to be stable. It's not like money, okay? It's not like money case. It's just they can lose or gain electron. They can even release some electron if they want to be stable. It's all about stability. So sodium has 1 electrons in its outermost orbital, and how many electrons does it need to have octet state? Yes, you are correct, 8 electrons. So it needs to gain 7 electrons to get into octet state. But will that be easier? No. 7 electrons gaining is impossible task in chemistry. So for this, the better option is losing this 1 electron. Because I told you it is not like a money case. We don't want to lose. No, it doesn't happen in chemistry. It's all about electrons. So they can either lose or gain. That's a common thing. Okay. So it will lose this 1 electron. And look at here, in its outermost orbital, there will be 8 electrons now. But in CSC chlorine, there is 287. Now it has one option that it can lose 7 electrons. That is also impossible. So for 8, the better thing will be gaining 1 electron. Are you getting me? So if it gains 1 electron, then obviously they will form charge. If it loses 1 electron, it will have plus charge. If it gains 1 electron, it will have minus charge. And to do that, they have to come together. And form a bond. If they are forming a bond, then only they can either lose or gain electrons. Or if we put them independently, whom with they will share the electrons. Who will it give or who will it take from? That is not specified over here. So obviously if they come together, if there are different atoms, then only they can either give the electron or take the electron to be in octet rule, octet state. So Octet state is a major property, major reason for the formation of chemical bond. Let me write it over here. For an atom, to be stable, I'm writing atom over here, okay, because we are talking the case of atom stable, there must be 8 electrons in its outermost orbital, right? That is the nearest noble gas configuration. For octet state, metals lose electrons, and non-metals gain electrons. Generally, metals lose electrons and non-metals gain electrons to be in octet state. And when they be in octet state, they are stable. And to be in octet state, they can do anything. For the stability, they can do anything. They can bond with anything, but they have to be stable over here. So in this case, in sodium and chlorine case, sodium can give 1 electron because it has 1 extra electron. Chlorine can gain 1 electron because it is lacking 1 electron, and when they do so, a kind of bond is formed between them, and as a result of that, a chemical bond is established. So this is the second reason for the formation of a chemical bond. Now let's see the third reason. We know that atoms do not exist independently because they are not stable, and if they are not stable, they will have higher energy, and if they somehow lose the energy, they might be stable. But there is only one option for atom, that is combining with other atom. You know, when they combine, a kind of reaction, a bond is formed over there, right? And that bond is the reason for the release of energy. Okay, so what happens when different atoms combine together, then energy is released. Like, look at here, if we see the energy profile diagram, the reactants are over here. Suppose A and B are different atoms, and if they are trying to react, then what will happen? When they react, a transition product is formed, A plus B minus, right? This is the transition product, and it will have a lot of energy, higher energy, and they will lose some energy, and finally their energy will be very less, that is AB, product, and this is the reactant. So what happens, if different elements combine together, then they will lose some energy, and that is the reason for the stabilization of different atoms. So they will have to do that because they want to be stable, and to be stable, if they have to lose energy, they will do that, whatever it takes, right? So let me write about it. Atoms do not exist independently, and to be stable, they combine and release some energy, hence for stability atoms form bond. So for stability, they form some kind of bond because more amount of energy is released, and if they are losing energy, then they will be more stable. So this is the third reason for the formation of chemical bond. So in this video, we understood what chemical bond is and what are the reasons for formation of chemical bond. We have studied 3 reasons. They are very important for examination. So I hope you understood everything about this video. If you like the video, please share this video as much as you can. And thank you for watching the video.